All right. This is my homemade store-bought pie. Eleanor, you want a piece?
Oh, I love a piece.
Okay. I always forget about the people that are back there. I washed my hands earlier, guys. I couldn't have done a better job with the plastic knife. What do you think?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
All right. Helping for you.
Oh, thanks.
All right. There you go. Eleanor, I told you I washed my hands, all right?
Yeah.
There you go. This one's mine. All right, here. Eleanor, I only got 2 forks, all right?
All right.
I'll leave mine with a knife.
Cheers to
Yeah, cheers.
Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving episode, yeah?
What are you bringing to Thanksgiving this year?
Nothing.
Nothing?
No.
You just show up and eat the food? That's your role?
Yeah, we're open that day. So normally I'm working hard during the day.
Nice.
And then I get home. Or I go to my folks' house. And I'll bring my edibles and I'll bring probably dog walkers this year.
Okay.
Yeah, just like, because little shorty pre-rolls. Or even like maybe like a curio.
Yeah, a little short and sweet little.
Yeah, just like little tiny little pre-rolls.
So, do you guys do like the cousin walk? Like where you go out with
the
your
cousin
cousins?
walk.
Yeah.
No, we don't do the cousin walk or nothing like that.
No.
No, most of my family doesn't participate a lot of the times.
Yeah.
But I'll go on my nice like little, even on the drive there in between work and then there. And as soon as I pull up into the neighborhood, is getting out of the car and making like my ritual little dog walker, little smoke, and then walking into the house and greeting everybody. And a lot of the times I show up at the perfect time.
When
Dinner comes out of the oven like as I walk up to Thanksgiving dinner, which is amazing. So I like the fact that we're open and we can sit there, we can help out the people that maybe not, we're open that day. So only till 2, but some people, they don't have stuff going on the holidays.
Right.
So it's nice to be open, right? It gives us the opportunity to get in there, help out some folks. And then, we're out by 3:00 and then, I'm pulling up to the house around 4:00.
Right.
I mean, it's perfect timing. I didn't have to do a whole lot of chores or nothing like that. I didn't have to cook nothing. I wasn't responsible for a whole lot because I worked that day and, going in there, getting out of the car, doing like a little dog walker action or something. And then, rolling in and the turkey's coming out of the oven. They might ask me like to carve the turkey. So, something like I'm like dialed in with.
Okay. So you still put a little hands on.
Oh,
You still help out a little bit.
I work a little bit, I guess.
Okay. See, I make my stuff the night before. Like I do the sweet potato casserole, and that's just something you can like put in the fridge. And then whenever I get there, I could just pop it in the oven so that it's like good and ready to come out.
So because of what we do for a living, my family does not trust me to make anything.
Right.
Because they think that I'm going to dose the entire Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
With cannabis. So they don't trust me. I can't even offer half my family like a piece of gum without them like thinking that I'm trying to dose them. So, it's a good thing I don't have to prep any of the food. I'll get there and I'll do like a little bit of work and that's it. So
with that being said, have you ever infused something before?
Yeah, definitely. Mostly desserts though.
Okay. What's like your go-to?
Oh, it's got to be a brownie.
A brownie? Yeah, that's a classic. That was the first thing I did too.
That's OG. I know it's not like I guess it's not like a traditional Thanksgiving dish, right? But I mean, a nice infused brownie. I mean, who doesn't love the corner of a brownie, right? Like a nice crispy corner of a brownie.
Yeah.
I mean, some other people, I guess, like the.
I like the middle.
You like the middle?
I'm a middle kind of gal. Yeah. I want it soft and chewy on all sides.
See, there's 2 different people in this lifetime.
There sure is.
Yeah.
So what's your method to infuse? What do you do?
I guess I did like, I never slow decarbed cannabis like in a crock pot or anything like that for like multiple hours. What I'll do is I'll look at just, the 4-ingredient brownie recipe.
Okay.
I'll take the oil I'll find the biggest fat content, or like, normally I think the best one I think I found was two thirds of a cup of oil
Okay.
in the brownie mix. So I'll find a box that's like at least two-thirds cups oil, and then I'll just go like a little bit over because some of that oil gets soaked into the cannabis. So like when you're making the brownie, like,
Right.
you still want to have enough oil there for the actual recipe itself. So I'll just slowly, I'm kind of methodical about it. I'll just simmer the oil on the
Mhm.
stovetop and then put about anywhere from like 10 grams to 14 grams
Okay.
into the oil. And then I'll be methodical about it, just like very lightly bubbling,
So
right?
you
Like
do it on the stovetop.
stovetop, like
Okay.
slow simmer, right? And I'll be methodical and I'll just go like for 45 minutes to an hour and just stir.
Do you decarb it first
Yeah,
before you do that?
I do decarb it first. I'll take that 10 grams to 14 grams and I'll put it in the oven, like at slightly, just very slightly kind of grind it up.
Mhm.
So still like some chunks, not super fine, just like nice chunks of
Yeah.
like nice little chunks in there still.
If it's too fine, you'll burn it.
No,
So
yeah,
you gotta be, like,
it'll
very
just cook.
careful.
Yeah, so like just like nice little barely cut up and just dumped it like right in there. Yeah, I'm thinking about like using a grinder, right? And dumping it back into like the tray. Even the tray that I use the actual brownies for. And I was like covered up with oil or covered up with foil
Mhm.
and pop it into the oven. And you can look at decarb charts like online. So me, I do low temperature, longer time throughout like that decarb process because
Right.
there's always going to be heat on like on that cannabis that you're using. There's always heat on it during the decarb process. It being in the oil that you're like sitting there simmering, infusing the oil, and then even as soon as like you strain your oil and put it into the brownie mix, like you still there's always heat like on your product that you're using. So me, the lower temperature you can control for the longer period of time. I always found that you get like super potent brownies if you do it like that. But that's what I do.
Okay. See, I go for the low and slow kind of process there. So I'll
Yeah.
decarb mine first, lay it out on the tray with parchment paper because if you just do it like on the tray, it can burn the cannabis. So I do um put it in the oven at 222 degrees and I'll do that for 44 minutes and then take it out, put it in a crock pot. I personally use the MCT oil because I feel like that absorbs it the best.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Damn, 222 degrees. 22 is my favorite number, by the way. So like I
Well, so
like
that's
twos.
why I do it because it's
Yeah.
angel numbers. Because most
Yeah.
websites you'll find they'll say like 225 to 228. So I do like 222 at 44 because I like the angel numbers and it works. I feel like
44 minutes. That's a long time though.
yeah.
Yeah. No kidding.
Hmm.
And then what do you do after that? So you put it in the crock pot
Yeah.
and then you add your oil.
Hmm.
And then how long is it in the crock pot for? Do you do it like,
About 6 to 8 hours.
oh, wow.
Yeah, but that's like okay. So when I do the crock pot method, I find I like MCT oil because it absorbs it. But if I'm doing crock pot, then I'm going to do butter because it's fattier. So you can allow it to sit in there for that long. So like if I just want to be like quick with it, that's when I'll use the MCT oil. Yeah. And then, you need like a cheesecloth because that's what works the best, but you don't want to squeeze it because then you'll get like plant matter into the oil. So you just kind of got to let it drip down into like a mason jar or something.
Yeah, I've made mistakes before. Like I always use not the times I did not use a cheesecloth.
Hmm.
I used um like a reusable coffee filter.
Yeah.
But sometimes like after I let the oil sit there on top of the stove top with the cannabis and being infused with it, I just turn the stove top off and then I'd go to strain it into the reusable coffee filter. And
Yeah.
sometimes it was a little bit too hot and actually melted through. So like, you don't want that. Like
Yeah.
it instantly became ruined
Yeah.
because, then it melted because it's got like little plastic pieces in there and crap like that. So it ruined everything. So I had to like take from the top and like retry everything. But
There's,
the cheesecloth is like way better than the reusable coffee filter.
yeah.
You
I
know,
don't think I've used the coffee filter
no, I think I was trying to be like too quick about it because I can be impatient sometimes.
when we didn't really know any of this and we weren't very educated, but you would just pop it in the toaster oven, make those little like s'more treats. Or what they call
Firecrackers.
firecrackers, yeah.
Oh my God.
Throwbacks.
Those ones you could put Keef on there, man.
It didn't matter, we didn't know what we were doing. How did you make yours?
I wrapped it up. You had like the graham crackers, Nutella, cannabis. I even put, Keef on top, another layer of Nutella, put them in there, wrapped up in foil, threw them in like little toaster oven for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It'd come out tasting burnt, right? And like
Yeah.
you were tasting cannabis, but I mean, talk about like something that I don't even know like how many milligrams that would equate to in today's world, right?
Yeah.
Everything that's lab
Nobody
tested
knows,
now
yeah.
based on like what we used to do. Like, I don't know if this was 1,000 milligrams and like what we use now is like 10 milligrams. All I know is whatever I made would just do dirty things to me. I was like, I mean, it was bad. I mean, I would be sitting there, it's that moment where sometimes on infused products, especially like the homemade ones,
Yeah.
this is why it's good to come to a dispensary because at least you know at least you
Exactly what
know
you're
what you're
getting,
getting,
yeah.
right? Because like when you do that homemade stuff or someone just hand you something out there, like at a family party, you don't know what you're eating. Cause there's firecrackers or, that cousin that gave you the edible.
Mhm.
It's like 2 hours later, it's like, there's absolutely no way this could mess me up even more than what I feel.
Yeah.
And then 30 minutes later, it's like, oh my God, I'm even
Wait,
worse
yeah.
now. There's no way I can get any worse than what I'm at. And then keep going up. You keep going up, and I'm like, oh my goodness. But yeah, so that's why it's like important. I'll stick to my little 5
Yeah.
milligram gummies down there that we sell in the shop because I know what I'm getting. I feel good. It gives me the happy giggles. I still get hungry. So
Okay.
as far as
Happy
edibles go,
medium.
yes, as far as the edibles go, I'll still go to the dispensary. I know what I like. And I know what I'm getting. So I'll still go back and just get my little 5 to 10 milligram gummies
There you go.
and not infuse my brownies and go to planet Pluto, or it's not a planet anymore, but
Okay.
somewhere in outer space. I'll
Yeah.
go.
I always find that like when people infuse with RSO, I don't really personally think that it's the best idea to put the RSO with the batter because it's like it's already activated, it's decarbed, it's ready to go. But in a batter, like when you're mixing it and spreading it, you could get so much in like one piece that's not the same as the other one. So like one could hit you 12 times harder than another piece in the same batch. So like personally, I always think like it's best to just like inject if that's what you're doing with the RSO.
What do you mean, like a gummy? Like,
Yeah. Or like just dose them out because it's got the lines on it so you'll know like exactly how much is in each. But like if you're trying to play like a little bakery roulette at like a Friendsgiving or something like that, and just be like, all right, let's see which piece of this brownie gets who to the highest point kind of thing. Like, okay, so we had this Friendsgiving a few years ago, and one of our friends made mashed potatoes. And I was like, how strong are these mashed potatoes? Because, like, I'm just trying to gauge, like, where I want to be. And he's like, oh, they're not that strong. Like, I really took it low because I know not everybody here uses cannabis. So, it's not strong. I'm like, okay. So we're all eating them. And I'm like, oh, these taste like just like cannabis. But, like, okay. So we're eating them. Like, an hour later, I look at him and I'm like, how much did you put in these mashed potatoes? Everybody was so high and everybody just kept like laughing about like how medicated they felt because the mashed potatoes were so strong. And yeah, it was not what we were anticipating, but I mean, it was fun. It wasn't like an overwhelming kind of high where you're like paranoid or anxious. Like we were just all so mellow and we were watching the football game and it was just one of those really fun highs, like just a very like laughy kind of I'm stuck to the couch, but I'm not like in my head kind of things.
no, I would be asleep. There's
Oh,
no way.
there was lots of people. Listen,
Yeah,
there were some knocked
I would
people.
I would absolutely be asleep. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll stick with my little dog walkers before, right?
Mhm.
And maybe even afterwards, like a little settling of the stomach, going like you and I will disagree on this.
Okay.
I'll do my walk after dinner to settle myself down a little bit and then like also kind of kick my body in the overdrive so I can start eating like pumpkin pie and things like
Okay.
that.
I mean, I don't disagree with doing it after, but I personally like doing it before, especially like, when it wasn't as accepted. I would say, like, when we would do the cousin walk, we'd be like, "Oh, we need ice or we need something that we don't have. We'll all be right back." And we would just go and
Oh,
then come
when you
back.
were still like sneaking the sneak
Yeah.
the sneaking around stage.
Yeah, my sneaking around stage, which I found out I never had to actually sneak around because my parents didn't care. I just assumed that they cared, trying to be respectful, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, regardless.
You're telling
Um,
me you don't think that your parents didn't smell you when you walked back in
oh,
for your
they
walk?
probably definitely did, but they never said anything because they know.
Or you got like that Bed Bath and Beyond, like
Oh, it's the what the
like
is it called the blunt spray? Like the stuff you get at the gas station?
no, that's not for your body. That's for your car.
Right, but still, like listen, you spray it in your car and you're sitting in your car, you're gonna come out smelling like that too.
Like you smell like a
I got the flavor cotton candy, right? I don't know why. That was just my flavor. Now whenever I smell it, I'm like it just takes me back.
somebody smoking cannabis
It
over there.
takes me back to that time.
Who's smoking cannabis in their
Yeah,
car?
it's a very triggering
We
smell to
got you.
me. No, but I don't know. Just so you know, being around family, there's a lot of different personalities, a lot of big personalities there. So like I like to just be mellow, focus on my food, embrace every single flavor of all of it. I don't care if my food touches kind of person. Like, but we did have to get like the plates with the separators because there's so many people that are just like, oh, I don't want my food to touch. Which, okay.
No, I'm a heathen out here.
And he
I mean, the mashed potatoes are on top of the turkey, and then the stuffing's on top of that. Then like there's
Mm,
gravy everywhere.
yeah,
I mean, it's
gotta have the
almost like
gravy.
yeah. I guess it's more like a bowl. It's not even like a plate.
Oh, a bowl. That's a good
A
idea.
turkey bowl,
Oh
baby.
my gosh, I'm gonna get some bowls. I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna do that.
You know what?
That's a really good idea.
Maybe I just like thought about this. I think maybe where did I see this? Maybe it was Wawa.
Yeah, Wawa the gobbler. Isn't that what it's called?
Yes, it's the gobbler. Yes. Yeah, the sub, and then they also, I think they have a bowl
Yeah,
option.
they do have a
That's
bowl.
probably where like I manifested this
So
from.
good. It's so
I'm
good.
at Wawa like every day.
Ah,
I know I drank all my coffee earlier.
I think I'm gonna go to Wawa and get some. I'm getting pretty antsy about Friendsgiving. This year for Friendsgiving, I'm bringing an apple pie.
Yeah, I almost bought an apple pie because I'm not a big fan. Pumpkin pie's okay. I guess you can ask everybody, like, what pie's the best pie?
What kind of pie are you bringing? There's pumpkin cheesecake too. So good. That's a new.
I think give me a nice apple pie that's warm with a scoop of vanilla ice cream on it,
The vanilla bean ice cream too.
a vanilla Dean ice cream, and then just put a scoop of that on top of that warm apple pie. I mean, and the ice cream's like slightly melting, and
Hmm.
it kind of gets over everything.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the ticket.
that right there is the best Thanksgiving dessert that you could possibly ask for.
You know what? I'll agree with you on that 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pumpkin pie, I like it. Sweet potato pie, right up there with pumpkin
Mhm.
pie. It's definitely second on the list.
Yeah. I make the sweet potato casserole with like the marshmallows on top.
Oh my god, yeah, it's almost like
Mm.
it's almost like a dessert.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they
It
put
gives
that
that
out like
little
during the
sweet
spread.
between the savory, like when you're like going from the green beans to the mashed potatoes, you get a little bit of sweet in there.
No, man, I was like,
Well, that's what people do cranberry. I'm not a cranberry
I don't
kind of
know.
person. I especially like the texture of them and they're like, yeah, that just freaks me out. I'm not a fan.
Do you ever
I
see it
don't
like
like
coming
that.
out of the can like?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Like it's a freaking worm, right? And then of course, like everybody that's got OCD, it's like absolutely incredible because then you can just cut where the fuck.
Yeah.
Sorry, you can just cut where like the lines are from the can.
Yeah.
So it's actually I guess it's kind of perfect. But my dad, he loves canned cranberry.
I mean, everybody's got their little things. That's like,
I
it's
could
not uncommon.
I could do it on a sandwich. I can do it on a
On a
sandwich.
That's
But by itself, no, forget about it. The fresh
I'm
turkey
always
dinner, no way.
with the leftovers, making like sandwiches out of it.
Yeah, the leftovers, cranberries, acceptable. During the actual dinner, no, I'm keeping it off my plate.
So like I don't infuse things for like my family Thanksgiving because it's not like it's not as not like your family, not everybody uses it. So like,
Yeah,
and
they're not as hip.
they're not as hip to it, and I'm not trying to make my Aunt Gigi have a straight panic attack, in the middle of dinner. But if I'm going to like a Friendsgiving or something, like some of the things that I think are best to infuse would be like the gravy for the turkey because it's got all the fatties and it just like would absorb really well. I feel like plus you can like measure out how much you want to put in it, and I think it'd be a lot easier to dose out with the gravy. Also like the mashed potatoes that my friend did, except I would not do them the way that he did it because I don't know what he did. Like there's good ways to,
Yeah,
especially if you're doing like more than one infused thing, you got to make things low dose. That way, if you're eating a bunch of things, it's all going to kind of hit you. Or, maybe you have different type of friend group where they just want everything really strong at once. But
yeah. These are what you call some of your best friends are considered your worst friends in your life.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely the worst friends.
Great friends, bad influences.
Yes,
Yeah.
they didn't even influence you. They just made it, and then you just hate it.
Well,
You just dug in on
I
yourself at that
trusted
point.
I trusted him. That was, that's on me. But no, desserts obviously, brownies, cookies, pies, the whole nine with that. You could even do the stuffing. Probably be a little weird, very potent cannabis taste with all the herbs from the stuffing.
I think my grandmother likes the stuffing too much.
Oh, I love the
Yeah, I'd
stuffing.
be like setting her up for failure.
Yeah. Oh, poor
Yeah,
grandma. Just because I'm gonna be getting off of work and go right to my family dinner. We're doing it at my brother's house this year. I got him a student glass for his birthday one year, so maybe plugging up a little bit of cherry pie OG in there to get the munchies going. Like take, tiny small hit. Um, Definitely enjoy the food a lot more once that happens. And then like after take a little pumpkin pie, bubbies, the low dose ones. I'm not a high dose kind of gal, but just a little bit of that to get ready for dessert, kinda have a little pumpkin pie before the pumpkin pie, you know what I mean?
yeah, I
So
get it. Yeah, so I don't do that. I'll do my edible before,
yeah,
and I'll do that. I bought like 5 bags of these the other day.
mhm,
I bought the Curio terpene infused chews, and I bought the hybrid ones.
okay,
It's infused like the terpenes that are in it. It's got pinene and I think what caryophyllene.
mhm. Which ones? The mangoes?
No, they're the lemon limes. So
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
okay,
they're the hybrids. Now I'm doing the 5 milligram, but if
okay.
I just eat one of those, maybe two, I know my appetite's going to get like a little stimulated, right? Get a little hungry, kind of chill out, but it's got a little bit of that pining in there, kind of. I'm going to think that I'm a genius, right? While talking to my family and things like that. Don't look at the table like that. But no, I think that that's what I'm gonna do is like I'm pulling up, right? I got the gummy. I might do like a little bit of a dog walker.
Okay.
Probably the brownie scout from those guys.
Yeah.
The brownie scout's like it's a nice indica dominant hybrid. Talking about something that makes you hungry.
That is a munchie infusion kind of
Yeah, I know we've probably said it.
inducing, hold on, that is a munchie inducing kind of strain right there.
Oh, it's an appetite stimulant. But any normally, I guess, like because you mentioned the cherry pie OG and
Yeah,
like talking about brownie scout, you talk about the ice cream cakes of the world or anything, anything that's got kind of food attached with the name. A lot of times, the standard rule, there are no rules in cannabis, but you start to see like these similarities that if it's got
common
food in the
themes.
name, yeah, like normally if it's got food in the name, like you can kind of start thinking of it as a appetite stimulant.
Okay.
But anyway, so like, there's and a lot, they're indica dominant hybrids, things like that.
Yeah.
Really kind of more like, body focused first. You see like that appetite stimulation kind of coming into play. But the brownie scout is like, I
Yeah.
mean, and normally from rhythm, dog walkers, I mean, it's normally got great THC levels. It's got a nice terpene content consistently, right? Like that 2.5 to 3% terpene range. I mean, just solid. It's a solid flower. And I know we already talked about brownies at some point, doing like infusions and things like that. I think that's probably why my brain drifted towards that.
2 brownies.
Yeah, to brownies, and like that's why I'm gonna roll with that as my Thanksgiving strain this year, no doubt.
Okay, I respect that.
Yeah.
Speaking of brownies, my first thing that I ever infused was chocolate brownies with caramel. Put, like, some caramel drizzle in there. Oh my god, it was so good.
Oh, I was gonna, you know what? I was gonna say that like if you can get like what I did was right before my brownies were done. At one point, I didn't do caramel, but that's interesting because I
Okay.
think that you could do this the same way. Is I did peanut butter
Okay,
and
that's smart.
I put it in the microwave and got it like kind of liquid like.
Yeah.
And I think that would be like a really good time to add like a thing of if you
RSO.
added your RSO. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, going back to that is adding like an RSO to that and getting it kind of making it that same
Yeah,
more
like a little
liquidy consistency and then
yes.
kind of like doing like a
Swirl,
nice drizzle.
yeah.
Now, of course, you go back to that like, all right, look, man, I might have screwed up like the dosing, right? Like maybe I I had a
Yeah.
heavy hand over here and I started running out of my peanut butter. So like these ones become a little bit lighter than the ones over here.
And then you flip it around and, like, a few times spin it, now you don't know where it is, who where
Yeah.
the